about integration. Diagram shows part of the curve y equals sine root x. This part of the curve intersects the x-axis at the point where x equals a. State the exact value of a. So x-intercept must be something comma 0, so the y value must be 0. So we solve y equals 0. The y is sine root x. Sine root x equals 0, which means root x equals pi, which means the x is pi squared, but we call it a in this case, so a equals pi squared. So in case you are wondering, why are we using pi, why are not we using 0? Well, because if you look at the sine graph, of course we can also use 0 or we can use 2 pi, but since we see that a is obviously not 0 and it's the first x-intercept after 0, that's why we use pi. Now for b, use the substitution as u equals root x to find the exact area. So to find the area, if you look at the shaded part, the limits of integration should be from 0 to a. We already know the a is pi squared, so the integral from 0 to pi squared of the function dx. So this is what we need to integrate. Now using the substitution, it says the substitution is u equals root x. So u equals root x. Root x is the same as x to the power of 1/2. So the du dx, the derivative is, we bring the power down, the new power is n minus 1. So this is the du dx, or we can use x to the power of minus 1/2 is 1 over root x. So we can use this form, and if you want to find the dx, so we kind of cross multiply. Dx times 1 is dx, that is equal to du times 2 root x, or 2 root x du. So that is the dx. Okay, so we have everything we need to integrate here. We have the dx, we have the u, and now if you look at the dx again, this is still in terms of x, so we have to use u for everything in the substitution. So instead of root x, because of the definition here, u equals root x, we use u. So we're gonna need to use this later, dx equals 2u du, and we will also need u equals root x later. And we also need to transform the limits of integration. So the limit is from 0 to pi squared, but that's for x. So when the x is pi squared, the u is, well, it's the square root of x. So the square root of pi squared is pi. And when the x is 0, the u is the square root of 0, which is 0. So we also transform the terminals of the integration, the limits of integration. So now we have everything we need. We substitute the terminals of integration, we substitute the root x with u, and we substitute the dx with 2u du. So we substitute everything is in terms of u. Now we can integrate. Problem is we cannot integrate directly because we have to use the integration by parts. So this is the integration by parts formula in the MF19. So if you simplify, just simplify the fractions here, we use this form: integral u dv equals uv minus integral v du. So this is the form we use: integral u dv equals uv minus integral v du. So we have to decide which one is the u, which one is the v. But if you look at the question, we are already dealing with u here, so it's going to be confusing if we use u again. So that's why I'm using a and b to replace the u and the v. So integral a db equals ab minus integral b dA. So just switch the u with the a and the v with the b. So for the a, we're gonna use 2u. So we set the a to be 2u. So whenever you have some algebraic or polynomial and a trigonometric function, we have to use this algebraic or a polynomial as the u, or as the a in this case. So we have to differentiate this part and integrate this part. So the a is 2u dA du, so the derivative of 2u with respect to u is just 2, which means if you just move this to the right, we have dA equals 2u. We're gonna use this later when we use the integration by parts. And then if the a is 2u, the dB would be sine u du. So we're gonna integrate both sides. So there's nothing here, so we can just say there's 1 here. The integral of 1 dB is b, just like the integral of 1 dx is x. And the integral of sine, using the MF19 formula, sine becomes minus cos. So the integral of sine is minus cos. We have b, we will also use this. So we have everything we need. We have the a and the dA and the b. So according to this integration by parts modified formula, ab, the a is 2u, the b is from here minus cos u, the b again, and the dA from here, that is 2 du. So we're done with the integration by parts. We have the result here. Now we simplify a little. This is minus 2u cos u, and minus times minus is plus. We still have 2, so plus 2, pull it out of the integration. We still need to integrate cos u du, and the integral of cos, using MF19 formula, cos becomes sine, so the integral is just sine. So we are done with the integration. Now we just have to plug in the limits of integration. We plug in pi, we plug in 0, and then we subtract. So since we are looking for the exact value, you can just try the whole calculation in the calculator, see if you get decimals or exact like pi. So actually here you can just use your calculator for the whole thing, and you get the exact 2 pi, and same thing here, you will get 0. So the final answer is 2 pi. Alright, I'll see you again next time.